It's time for Two Guys and a Girlie.
Welcome to Two Guys and a Girlie on this first day of the new year, 2023. My name is Denise, aka Girlie, and with me in the studio are Clark and Nick. We are a live streaming conversation coming to you via YouTube and Facebook. So happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year. Cheers.
365th of that, yes.
We have begun.
I got to make a point here, though, how much the world changes. Phyllis is a Roger.
Whoa.
She loves parades. Watch a live accident go on here. She loves parades, and she's trying to watch the Rose Bowl parade, only because she's a Roger, and they won't have it until tomorrow.
Why?
The second.
Wow,
NBC.
Isn't it normally the first?
Well, it's the New Year's Day parade, I think. So they're streaming. They're playing it on television for the old people tomorrow, the 2nd. It is being live streamed though, and you could track that down and find it. But that's an interesting.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, we don't always get to notice the changes before they happen, but that's kind of a little incremental thing. Josh, what's going on here?
Huh.
You guys don't do parades over there, do you, Nick? I mean,
on your year's day, you mean?
Yeah, or just these. We've got 2 events for three. Let's say 3. July 4th. National level attention.
That
parades.
The same. On 28th of October and 25th of March.
That's right.
The 2 national holidays we talked about the other day. Related to historic events, World War II and the revolution against the Turks. But other than that, no parade for other events.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
So the Rose Bowl is related to football, right? Yes, no?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
wait a minute. You can't be broadcasting the Rose Bowl parade on a Sunday when all the football games are on, right?
Well,
that would upset a lot of people.
Said that, but they've been doing it up until I think last year. Then they suddenly either decided there was revenue in streaming it live other than network channels, or the football people were saying, wait a minute, that's the valuable real estate on the Sunday morning programming. Or none of the Rogers were all asleep at the switch. Because those guys, I mean, they live and die by the parade thing.
Well, parades are huge.
They are Rogerian. One of the most Rogerian demonstrations, or most public.
I would say, yeah. Everyone, getting together, the whole.
Looking at way out of date cartoon characters done in roses. What the hell is not to like?
That is true. If you're a Roger, but
Roger.
So I think this is kind of cool that the first of our shows is on the first day of the new year.
Hey, Fadula.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So how's the weather in each of your locations?
Nick?
Springtime.
Isn't it wild? It is here.
It's not normal. It's not normal.
As an old
what is normal?
It's not normal. So you get very low temperatures. We get unusual high temperatures. So it's the same coin. It's the same coin, only flip side.
As a person who doesn't like winter and a selfish old timer, I'll say, come on, global warming. Make my final years comfortable anyway.
Yeah, but you will change what you're saying when you won't have any water to drink. You and the rest of us. Because there were, I know you were doing, there were no rains, no significant rains so far. And if we are in January and we don't have any significant rains, then you can understand what's the deal.
Yeah. No, we're getting that kind of extremes here, and it's a good example of, for me, in my persona at the doctrine, you'll find a dearth of real world issues because it's really interesting and fucking insane, the world, when it comes to things like that. I mean, and you've heard me on off camera, and luckily I managed to get into one obscenity. That'll be explained later to any viewers why I felt it was permissible to do that. But the idea is that it's barely discussable by rational people. I think rational people get to
another one of those polarizing, people get insane. I mean,
yeah, and that's the thing where, I'm one of those people who does not read. Well, look at the paper. In other words, part of this seems to be people are tied to media, what's happening in the world. Like I used to call it TV news, but nobody calls it TV anymore. And I stopped doing that back in the 90s because it sucks the life out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Giant.
I'm in agreement with you. Total agreement with you. We haven't
me too.
Connected the TV to the stations for over 20 years, 24 years. And everyone is, why aren't you having TV programs? How are you watching the news? I said, I'm not watching the news anymore.
And then they say something, but you got to know. But you got to know.
Yes. No, and then I said, I've got you to tell me if it's that important. So I won't escape that whether I will like it or not. So you will say what I don't want to learn. So
I took it, proud of taking it to the next step at my office, because real estate, lots of people around during the days, and the secret price of not having people come up, because even when you say I don't do this, they want you in that crowd of people sharing the pain and the horrors. The price is you can't participate even when you think it's okay, and I got them all to the point to where they would stop talking as I went through the room, as they're complaining about this, that, and the other thing, and so I've managed to establish that, and it's been sufficient, because you can't, it's like alcoholics and alcohol. I mean, I sort of have to admit to looking at the news, but it's always with the mind that, wait a minute, stop, because it pulls me in, pulls all of us in.
Exactly.
And
thank you, Michael, for your wishes. Best to you too. Best to you too. Thank you for your support all this time and being here with us.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Michael.
As we rant about the energy sucking current events and all, but strange.
Yes.
And that general future theme is that. A lot of us who, friends from over the years that used to read science fiction, is that the thing about the changes that we're living in isn't the degree of change, but the rapidity of it. The way faster affecting things than any of us would have guessed. That's on a light note.
Sure. Serious note.
Why not?
Wow. Yeah. Why not? Exactly.
Why not?
We have a beautiful view. Oh, my phone went. So this is just kind of a nice sky. Well, it's not my hand.
You can drive with one hand, right? You don't have to hold it up in the air. What you have to do is put your arm on the seat next to you and hold it at shoulder level.
Like this.
Yeah, but turn it now, rotate to your left, the other way. There. No, back.
Yeah.
There. No. All right.
Okay,
now we're in the car with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not a well, you knew where I am.
No, I don't, but
yeah, you do.
But the cops aren't going to see that with your arm at mid-level.
You don't think so?
No.
Man, talk about, and I can say this on live frequency here. The police in this state I pulled up to the drive-through window at McDonald's, and it is Rhode Island state law that states it's unlawful to give out plastic straws unless they have been requested. I almost took a picture of the sign.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
At least you still have plastic straws. Here they have forbidden them
Yes.
at all. There are only these paper straws that taste horribly.
How can you shoot your friends in the eye?
With a paper straw.
Paper.
Exactly. Exactly.
Next thing they'll allow is paper clips and rubber bands. Those hurt. Those hurt in the day.
Oh, rubber bands. But what are you saying? Rubber bands with
And
projectile paper clips?
Uh,
Oh, do tell. I never knew of that one.
Well, that's a gender thing.
Yes, I suppose.
Yeah, you know. Well, the doctrine is gender neutral, still to this day.
That's right.
I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Steedy.
So, how about that retrospective, Clark?
retrospective, as in the past.
And in the future.
Okay, yeah, retrospective to the future would be more fun for me because I did a old year's resolution post this week earlier at the Doctrine, and it simply was, okay, we get the resolution, and you know, there's a whole thing built up around New Year's resolutions. But I was thinking to myself, since it's always about me, essentially, what can I do constructive with that concept of resolutions? Genuinely constructive for myself. So I thought, well, wait a minute, you got stuff you got to do. You got 4 or 5 days to do it. Why not do the old year to the new year? And then, shit, I'll wait till next January, December 31st. But the idea was, it was taking something and putting it in front of me to be something that I not only could do, but, you know, the whole thing about resolutions is focus, it's real life, it's all of the things that if you had wanted to change, you would have changed by now. And yeah, I could go on for years on that topic.
I've never done I've never done a New Year's resolution.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I find it pointless.
Yeah, exactly.
But the old year resolutions were good because they updated the couple of static pages at the Doctrine. And
That's good.
And that presents a whole different issue for the year going forward of how much energy does it take to do stuff. And, you know, it's always about energy for me. And the idea of I can write posts, keeping it to the writing thing. But how much can I go back digging into the Doctrine to explain it better when I suspect that at the time it drew people and people enjoyed it because of the energy secretly hiding in what I was saying, you know, good grammar notwithstanding. So that's my retrospective. Forward perspective is the same. It's always about self-improving myself. And, you know, we all have that experience. And the only thing that I hold on to when I talk to people about self-improving yourself is the only defense you have against, yeah, right, this year for sure, Nick, is you didn't forget it. And I'll maintain the majority of the world's humans get to the point to where they forget what their resolutions would be in that sense and give up trying. I think it's better to try repetitively and not succeed than just give up on it. So,
exactly.
So
I agree. I was meaning, it was nice to hear you say that because it opens a lot of topics we are not going to discuss, obviously. But I was hinting towards the retrospective of Two Guys and a Girl you mentioned earlier in our correspondence. You said and Denise, that you wanted to do like a flashback to what we've done so far in Two Guys and a Girl and how we're going to move forward in 2023.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was pointing towards that. But
Okay.
it's good what you said, because we're in full agreement in that. The New Year's offers.
We've done this. For me, it's this. We've done this, and I've said that to you guys before. Is that huge percentage of people wouldn't make the leap into, hey, that sounds like a cool idea. On
And
camera,
just go do it.
risk,
Yeah.
all of the things that make this sort of scary anytime you do it for the first time. But it's about the energy too, and that's where I was saying, and Nick's alluding to who we got, so I can address Michael and whoever else. I'll be leaving the band. You think that was too cold-hearted to express it that way, or I thought it was okay?
No. It's a way to say it.
Nick's credit, anybody out there or in the future who will be watching this, to Nick's credit, he didn't do one of two things. Take the cello behind him and swing it at the camera. He didn't do that. Or he might not be old enough or in the right culture to do a spit take. Danny Thomas.
Oh, I don't know that.
What is that?
The spit take.
What is that?
Oh, come on, Denise, really? Look it up on the
No,
internet.
really. Maybe I do know, but maybe it's a different term.
Well, you guys know because
take?
it's in the culture. It's called a spit take. And Danny Thomas on a show in like the 50s invented it. But you go on the Google and just do spit take and.
I have to because.
What?
Save us the trouble. I mean, we are.
Well, it takes.
Yeah, what?
You're drinking something.
It goes when you hear something. So you want me to do that?
That would have been perfect.
Hey, Nick, I'm out of here.
Nick, you're sitting there with you should have. That would have been good. Except he would have ruined his nice coat there. But yeah,
I'm more worried about the laptop.
Right. I get it.
Yeah, I had one incident before, so 2 times the charm it won't be. Yeah,
I remember. I think we all remember back when we were young and funny. Doing a joke at the moment of somebody drinking something was always a high prize. If you can get them to spit take.
Okay, now I know what you mean.
Oh, shit.
You should wait then to say that when I was drinking.
Well, no, and
you lost that chance. And I'm not good in reenacting. So
no, and I wouldn't have done that because that's not.
Nope. Moment is gone.
Well, more than that, there's an aggressiveness to a spit. If you were going to set one up, and not even not live, I wouldn't do that. Say something like that. Hey, I've reached the point where I'm not going to do this. I wouldn't do that because that's not. Phyllis says that's not being very nice. And
yes, but you said it. You said it 2 minutes before we go live. So
yeah. Well,
I mean, it's better. It's better or worse. I don't know if it's better or worse.
Band-Aid, dude. Band-Aid. Come on.
but you still missed your chance as Denise to what was it? Spit take.
Spit. S-P-I-T. Spit take.
Spit take.
Yeah.
I heard split, and so I was
All right, now you're gonna make me go and do this now. Well, you guys, Denise, I haven't heard you talk about next year.
Next year, as in this year, or 2024, when Metallica is touring and doing those 2-night deals. This year, hell, I don't know. I haven't given it thought yet.
Wow.
I'm just today. No thought yet.
What are your thoughts of Two Guys and a Girlie so far? These 8 episodes.
Oh, so far, I've enjoyed myself. As Clark was saying, at some point in the recent past, never would have thought I would do something like this at all because of, the normal, like, oh God, I don't know. That's scary, the whole bit that we just talked about. But I'm glad I did, and I think it's the function of age and experience that says, and I won't use the word Clark spoke, but, I'll say, what the heck? Why the heck not? Because this is it. We have no run on life, so do it now. What's the worst that could happen? People
That's
don't watch me flub up words or get uncomfortable, or they watch and laugh. I'm not going to hear them laughing, so I don't care. So I'm glad that I did this and am doing it, because I'm meeting people, everyone that has participated. It's engagement. And hold on, because I'm concentrating on driving, so someone else talk.
Jeez.
Yep, you do that. So, Clark?
But we're coming into a state park here, so they cut off an entrance. I was kind of upset they cut off one of the entrances, so I'm doing an alternate route.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the retrospective, so what have we done, Nick, then? 9 episodes so far?
This is the 9th.
9th, okay.
Beatles.
Okay, that's
Beatles.
pretty.
I can't play Beatles music, but that popped into my mind. Denise is probably not old enough.
Number 9.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah, I get it.
And we were young then, and it meant a lot more. And, the ultimate injustice is what you just said. And somebody else a long time has said it better, that the youth is wasted on the young. Because, yes, I'm much less inclined to be concerned about the imagined negative effects of doing things like this. And yet, to go further, the energy requirements. And that's a whole topic of a whole different series. So there'll be stuff in the future to talk about, Nick. What's your thoughts on the future?
It is.
On the future of what?
Denise is driving.
The future in general.
I don't know.
Or prescription.
I'm lost. We're talking about 2 guys and a girlie, or in general?
In general.
Because 2 guys and a girlie, I don't know if I can decide what's the future of it. Since one guy is
You don't
not
have to
there.
decide. You don't have to decide right now at all.
Huh?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to understand the future question. It was referring to what? That's because we were talking about the previous 8 episodes and what we're thinking about it. That's why you're talking in general about plants and stuff. Clark.
Yes.
That's what you're. Yeah.
Almost always, yeah.
Okay. Fuck plants.
What was that?
Right. Yeah,
Fuck
Nick said the fuck word.
Yeah.
Oh, I did it. Well, then I can say it too, right?
Yeah, too late. You lost your chance.
And
wait a minute.
Create another one.
If we were in TV land, or the movie G, we would see the ratings are skyrocketing.
and George Carlin and the reincarnation, the spirit of George Carlin will come and say, yes, it's only a word. It's only a word. It doesn't mean anything. So
it's the most cathartic word I know.
Well,
when it is used at the right time and under the right context, it is.
And not under and every all the like 50 million people watching us right now, I will apologize because I typically don't use that word in general public. Only with 1 or 2 close.
I apologize.
But that is the basis. No, but that's the basis of being a decent person. Who would say that to somebody who you have reason to believe would be offended by? Why? You got no
I
other
would
word?
never. I would
No
exactly.
I mean, I can speak to you in the most polite way imaginable, and I would mean exactly the opposite. It's all in the context. It's all in the context.
Worse than that.
So in the context we're discussing, I'm repeating what I said about plants. For example,
worse than it's the context. It's the person, the character of the person.
And you have to look in the eyes of who is saying what and why. And going back to your question and my answer, I will give you a few examples of why I say that. Michael is in the house. So, Michael, you have someone who is devoting his life to his family and his wife and his son. And then one day, his wife decides to look the other way for new adventures. And after so many years, he finds out, not in the best way, and that destroys his life. And instead of choosing his own life first before anything else, he just chooses to serve his son's well-being as best as possible, putting his own desires and dreams about a happy life second. So that's a plan. Eh? Or another example, you go out with your motorcycle for a nice ride on a beautiful summer evening, and you have a nice evening at a very nice location, and on your way back, in 1 second, everything turns around, and you find yourself in your hospital, and you find yourself not able to move or walk, or having to walk with a cane after so many months. That was a plan. Let's go for a ride and enjoy the summer evening. That turned out well. So I think plans. Who said that when humans make plans, gods are laughing? I think Paulo Coelho wrote that somewhere. That when humans make
Interesting.
plans, gods are laughing. And I'm certain they are laughing. So
Wow, well, that doesn't.
that's my
They don't sound very nice.
yeah, that's the way gods operate, whether we like it or not. So that's why I said what I said about plans. And I always enjoyed making some. But so far, apart from the common sense plans, okay, you see winter is coming, you should have some petrol.
I'm going through some uranium.
Okay.
Maybe you guys.
Yeah,
know
I
some
agree.
uranium.
And
so that's why I said that. Apologies for not giving a heads up for profanity.
But I've always maintained that the people who don't use certain words, what's lost in the general culture is that if you use something, you take the power out of it, and so I get more of a reaction. Probably the least of the three of us, but Denise with hardly ever. When she uses it, nobody doesn't hear it. So it has way more impact, and that can be good or bad.
Of course,
but,
if you use it all the time with no intention.
And I almost don't have any words that I would find offensive, but it's people who can be offensive.
Yes, and they can say to you, kind sir, and they could be more offensive than saying to you, fuck you to your face. And that's typical. What I was talking about euphemisms. I was talking earlier, and a big hello, a big hug to Chris and Cliff, two of our dear friends that are giving a battle since the summer, and they are winning, and soon they will be at the end of their battle. They have a terrible situation called load shedding by the electric companies. I'm sure you are familiar with it, which means that the electric companies cut the power in order to reduce the overall weight on the grid.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is coming to everyone. In England, remember Tom was writing earlier this, I think on November, that he had the same thing, the power on and off. And this will be a constant, I think, in more countries than we can imagine, not only in South Africa. And
I should recommend a book that everybody, it has some cachet for people who would have read back in the 60s and 70s for, I'm not going to be able to pronounce presentient. That's not the right word. The idea of knowing the future. A guy named John Bruner, with two N's, wrote Stand on Zanzibar. If you can
Oh, that
find it,
sounds familiar.
yeah. He didn't get
Gruner with a G or Bruner?
just Bruner, Brunner.
You, okay. Sands of
And
Zanzibar, okay.
he didn't catch the wave like Larry Nivens and the guys, and then there was that new wave, nuts and bolts science fiction guys in the 60s into the 70s, or what's his name? But you should read it because he nailed the future in that kind of depressing sense that it's hard to avoid. So,
the depressing thing is that more than one voice is predicted or prophesied or imagined what happens now in more than one occasion. And I think the cherry on the top was Denise. I think you haven't read that post yet. The AI already saying that to us about, you better do something about your societies, otherwise you'll be in a whole different environment before you even know it. And that was a very interesting discussion. I was hoping to have. Apparently, we won't under the current context. So I have to reschedule with that guy. There was a guest I was trying to have, and pity it is that he maybe was going to be able to come here today and have a talk about AI. To give you an update, Denise, at my 6 part 2, The Knot, I think you haven't read that yet.
No, actually I have
yes,
not.
I know. I was disclosing that the poem at part 1 I wrote and a lot of you liked. It wasn't written by me. It was written by the newer version of an artificial intelligence. And there I have posted also all my discussions with that AI and my thoughts about it. And so that guy, that gentleman he works in the tech industry in the United States. Mm-hmm. And I thought it would be nice to have someone on the inside to give us how he views this whole thing. Sure. But I rescheduled it for him because I wanted you, Denise. I thought you were driving, and yes, you're driving. After all.
Yes. Nope,
speak of the devil. I would like for you to be on the studio, so he could have our complete attention and not have someone hear the half of what he's saying. And so
I'm hearing everything today.
Yes, I didn't know based on the previous episode and on your way to Rhode Island, where the reception wasn't very good. I said maybe we should reschedule it for a later date because I would like it to be done properly. Now we'll see what happens with that. But talking about new environments and challenges, Clark, that are unprecedented. And that's a huge point.
It is.
That when something is unprecedented.
I agree.
So make a note, because I saw something. I think I took a screenshot of it because it was somewhere on YouTube. Your AI chat friend, chat with an AI, have a new friend, but they're AI.
You will see all in every medium, social or not, you will see that topic emerging strongly and strongly.
So you don't need human friends now.
Instagram needed what? 5 months to have 1 million followers. ChatGPT needed, I think, 10 days. Facebook needed 3 or 4 months. That AI needed, I think, 10 days, no more. And it is at its infancy. So the same way I'm not saying I'm understanding everything about it, not at the least. I'm puzzled by it. I'm in awe by it. I like it, and I'm afraid about it because I'm not afraid of the AI. I'm afraid about our unwillingness to regulate and form a security grid about how we develop and we bring forth this kind of technologies to our society. So that was the topic I was aiming towards discussing in 2000 early. And to answer your question on the mail, Denise, not generally as an AI. This is a text discussion AI, and it's a generative discussion AI. So it ties to the writing thing. And when you read the post, you will see also, apart from the post, a very interesting discussion starting at the comments, as it is often the case at the Six Sentence community. And that was my ambition. It was not to deceive anyone. It was not anyone to make him feel uncomfortable, especially of those who liked the poem at the first part, and then reading at the second part that it was written by an AI.
Yeah, that wasn't that wasn't a good feeling. What?
What was exactly what I decided I wanted to create, because otherwise it would be buried under an avalanche of news we are bombarded each day of our life. And I think, along with the nuclear fusion development and advancement, these AIs is a pivotal point of our society. And I wanted to create that shock in order to start a discussion among ourselves, for each of you in your circles, and whether we like it or not, this thing happens in the United States first, and they will spring out of the United States to the rest of the world. So the sooner the United States create a regulatory frame around it, the better for everyone. But the omens are not good, because as I wrote, look what happens with Twitter. They still are trying to find ways to regulate Facebook and Twitter. And Twitter is just a text box, a little frame that you put some words and send it outside. ChatGPT, if he had autonomous access to the internet, during the time we are discussing about it, it would send easily 100,000 different texts, first drafts of text, not copies of something else, and send it into the internet. And tell me then if that doesn't create a reality. Because whether we like it or not, our reality is based on the internet. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That when it reaches everyone's hands in this one, like I am discussing with it each day, then it's game over. You won't be able to regulate it because it will be available to everyone. The company will have so much power.
And you know what? It's too bad. I've gotten almost to the point now, because I haven't. I use my phone not like pretty much everyone I know. I haven't downloaded maybe one app, a weather app.
Mm-hmm.
Don't download apps. I don't do anything except texting this music.
Mm-hmm.
I will search, articles, research stuff. But hey, are you seeing what's happening to my frame?
No.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
Your frame looks steady.
Oh man, so I'm looking at it and it's not. Wow, what an effect.
No, it's nice.
Okay.
It's nicely well framed. Stable.
Oh, okay. Now I'm
Really?
stable. Now I'm stable.
You weren't
Oh, it was
before.
all over the
But
place.
what
But,
revolution? Sometimes things we are noticing at our own feed we don't see here, but they may
Yeah.
appear at the final recording when the
Oh, I
stream
hope
is
so. I
closed.
hope so. I hope what just happened shows
So-
in that recording because that was
so-
so wild. Anyway, Anyway,
Your phone
but the
your
whole
phone is on
so using the
psychedelics.
phone. Well, I was psychedelic, man. It was the
Right.
shimmering. It was I was going through. Oh, I don't know how many multiverses.
How many
simultaneously.
mushrooms did you?
Hey,
feed
didn't
you?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Didn't you do drugs when you were young? Did you ever do that? I heard that.
No, it's not drugs. It's mushrooms. Like,
No,
it's
it wasn't, was it?
yeah.
I'm dealing in personal information, so I'll generalize it. And you have my respect for that. Holy smoke! I never would have gone and done that at in that setting. Holy shit!
Why
But
not?
that's okay.
We did the live stream
To
for
me-
8 episodes.
All I can add to the whole thing was what I just said to Denise. Is the only counterbalancer is to all of the future realities created by AI. Because I created in my head the thing I alluded to with Denise, seeing her reaction. So it's I'm gonna say it's about how I relate myself to the world around me. Now the world can go
Yes.
crazier,
Mhm.
but and you can try to move the world, but it doesn't get that far in until they start doing implants on birth. So okay, fine, I'm going to be dead by then. So
This is
Yeah,
already
thank God.
newsflash.
I mean,
No,
not
no,
you,
no, no,
not
no,
you,
no,
not
no,
thank
no.
God you'll be dead, but I
No,
just
no,
said
no,
the
no,
same
no,
thing.
Give a
No, no,
shit.
no, no.
We don't give a shit. This is my generation. Hey, we had our fun. Good luck.
Yeah, yes, I agree. But some people have
Oh, you're too young.
Yeah.
generations they care about, and
Yeah,
in the future.
responsibilities to the world.
Newsflash: the implants are already
Yeah,
done.
really.
And I'm not. I if you read my comments, you will see I have wrote about Stent Road. Stent Road is not the conspiracy theorist implants. They are talking about the number of the Antichrist and stuff like that. It's a medical procedure that interprets brain waves from an implant you put in your blood vessel of the brain, like a stent for a heart procedure, and then translates that into what I am thinking. So if I am thinking I want to pick up my cane and hit Rod Clark on the forehead, if I think about it, then the electric impulses of my thought are translated by that implant in my blood vessel.
The
And then
Simpsons
bonk
did
on the
that.
head, Clark.
For me as a therapist,
Back in the 90s.
it's incredible because I have watched up close and personal what it means to have tetraplegia, paraplegia, hemiplegia, stroke, so multiple sclerosis. Can you imagine what this means for all these people? But there's a flip side to that coin. If that
Always,
would be
there always is. There always is.
and that's what I'm saying. I'm not against the new technologies. I love it, and I told the AI.
Eve,
I told
we're
the
gonna get
AI.
thrown out of the garden. Eve says, "Yeah, but I can make apple pies."
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Anyway,
that's a different discussion. To be
yes,
made or
yes.
Where was
So, I
Yeah.
don't know.
not.
So
So
I don't know.
I'll say one
Wh-
thing because my time is running out. I thank.
yes, and we
Everybody
reached
does
the
that.
44 minutes, and I wanted to make it a gift for you for your last episode here.
Thank you.
To
Thank you.
be the chimeric 44 minutes.
Oh.
So we are closing.
Excellent.
So
Thank
we
you,
are
Nick.
closing.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Nick. I've had a good time. I've enjoyed this, and maybe someday I will do it again.
Yes.
Yeah, always welcome. You will always be a good. You will always be a guy, Clark. Okay. All right. Are we Are we still live?
Yes, we are. Yes, we
Okay,
are.
so Michael, if it's only you or if other people are out there,
There are
I
three people
too.
here.
Okay, but that's okay. I also have to go because I am parked somewhere and I must move on. Limited hours today, but
Yep.
I'm glad we shared New Year's together. It's still New Year's where you are, so that's good.
Yep.
And everywhere else. So,
Yes.
all righty. Wow. So this is a sign off from
Yes.
Girly on the Edge. And we are presently one guy and a girly
Yes, and
at the moment.
after you sign off, I will greet our viewers properly,
Okay.
and
All right.
not
So
by pressing the sign off button. Okay.
gotcha,
No worries.
gotcha. So everyone have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, and we will be talking in the future. Well, in about a week's time. Okay. All
Yep.
right. See ya. Bye.
Take care, Dennis.
Okay.
So it's one guy. I mean, you can plan for that shit, can you? Anyways, I'm going to thank you. I don't know what's going to happen with two guys and a girl. As I said, I found 2 minutes before the live stream that Clark is not willing to continue with two guys and a girl, and he's leaving the band. So I don't know what will happen. But still, for these 9 episodes, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, for giving us your time and attention. It's a commodity so valuable. I'm not taking it lightly, and it is appreciated beyond words. We'll see what the future will hold, but I have a hunch that we'll talk again in one form or the other. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart for being here, especially this day. Take care of yourselves. And before we sign out, I will read to you the outro I asked the AI to write for our show. So here is the outro from ChatGPT. So he says, as an outro, thanks for tuning in to Two Guys and a Girlie with Denise, Clark, and Nick. We hope you enjoyed the show and learned something new about writing and self-development. Don't forget to join us next week for more thought-provoking discussions and valuable insights. Until then, keep on growing and striving to be your best self. Stay creative, stay curious, and stay connected. This is what an artificial intelligence wrote as an outro for our show. Pretty humane, eh? So, everyone, have a happy new year as you wish it to be. Thank you again, and we'll be seeing you. Bye bye.